Hello and welcome to Beyond Business, the program where we uncover the latest trends in the global economy. Today we're looking to the skies. We're honing in on a business that's all about analyzing our world by using satellite images and aerial shots. It helps winemakers with their crops and it provides mining companies and oil firms with crucial geological details. The business is known as geoinformation and it's growing rapidly. Some say companies within the sector have internet giant Google to thank for opening up this industry.
This is the Alexandria port seen from space. This satellite image was commissioned by the European Union, and it was used to prepare for a possible evacuation of EU citizens during Egypt's revolution. In Madrid, experts analyze pictures from all over the world. They decipher the information hidden within these images.
The request was to support evacuation of European citizens in the area, and our product to response was analysis of critical infrastructure and support to this evacuation. We take this data, the satellite image, and we turn it into information that we give to the decision maker to take appropriate decisions regarding this evacuation.
This type of analysis has been dubbed geoinformation. The European Union uses it frequently, particularly to shape its defense and security policies. But according to the center's director, geoinformation isn't only for states or institutions.
Commercial sector is providing a number of extremely important services, and we're very happy that in recent years, both the offer and the use has been on a constant increase, and this is just the beginning. I think geo-related services are going to continue to grow in the future truly on a global scale.
Philippe Delclos from Astrium Geoinformation in Toulouse, France, says this boom is due in part to Google Earth's popularity.
With the Google Earth phenomenon, which started in 2005, all of a sudden, lots of people, both in the public and the private sector, discovered the existence of this geographic information and its value.
To meet growing demand, operators like Astrium are diversifying their offers. They want to be ready to respond to a wide array of queries from businesses as well as individuals.
There's civil engineering, defense, geology, petroleum exploration, mine exploration, etc. There are also tons of applications in the agricultural sector. For example, we'll suggest agricultural practices that are much more efficient and require less fertilizer.
Astrium has developed a computer program called FarmStar. It helps farmers diagnose their field's health and watch over their crops' growth. More than 10,000 French farmers use the software.
This market is booming. As geoinformation is becoming more accessible, farmers, by definition, work in a given geographical environment, so they're big consumers of these products.
Geoinformation services are being exported too. FarmStar is now sold in Eastern Europe, Northern Africa, Argentina, and Canada.
It's clear that these services are growing because there's an economic incentive. They help farmers and winemakers work better, so they'll get a return on their investment.
And that also means big profits for those who provide these satellite images. French, Russian, Israeli, and of course American companies are all joining the race to take over this new market.
Let's get more now on geoinformation. We can turn to Gérard Brachet, who's a space policy consultant. He's also the president of the Air and Space Academy, which works to promote research in the aerospace sector. Welcome to France 24.
Thank you.
First, could you tell us a little bit more about why and how geoinformation is such a useful tool?
Well, geoinformation is all about our planet. It's how we use our planet and how we grow crops, how we extract oil, how we plan the use of land, how we build new railways and highways. And all this is done by using information that you can collect either on the ground, which is very cumbersome and expensive. You used to collect that from aerial photography, and now you do it from satellite imagery. which is basically the same thing as aerial photography, but the satellite has one big advantage, and that it can look at
cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, it can look at any point on the Earth. Well, you cannot fly an aircraft at any point on the Earth.
No, it's difficult, isn't it? How much is this business actually worth at this stage?
Well, I think at this stage, the business is typically of the order of $1 billion per year in terms of the raw data imagery transmitted by satellite. Now, on top of that, you have to add all the services that are developed and that are sold to the final user. And the services include a number of images, but it also includes a number of additional work to extract the information from the images.
So basically the analysis of the data, not just the satellite images themselves.
Yes. The analysis itself, sometimes combined with other types of data. And so overall, it's probably several $1 billion. But the imagery part of it is typically $1 billion today.
So most of the value added is with the analysis itself and not necessarily with the satellite images.
Yes, as always. Services is a lot more than the raw information.
Who are the biggest actors? If we talk about nation states here, countries.
Well, the biggest actors in the you have to consider two classes: the business actors and the government actors. The business actors are in the US, in Europe, and in some other countries, including Israel. And this business has developed drastically since a decision taken by President Clinton in 1994, allowing American companies to fly spacecraft with very high resolution imagery capability, which basically opened the market.
Because previously only the military was allowed to do that.
Yes, it was only the military, and in fact there was even a rule in the US that you could not go down below 30 meters or so in terms of resolution. Today, the private companies do go down to 0.4 meter. Okay. So this decision, which was a policy decision, had a very big impact on the availability of imagery for the market. The other class of actors are the governments. So in the governments, you have the military part, which is basically classified programs. The imagery from those satellites, you never see them, full stop. Imagery from civilian spacecraft operated by government agencies such as NASA in the US or the European Space Agency in Europe or the JAXA, which is a Japanese space agency in Japan. These are civilian spacecraft. They are mostly devoted to research. That is, they are testing new types of instrument, new types of data collection system, new spectral bands and new modes of operation. So they don't aim at the commercial market. They aim at testing and qualifying new technologies.
Who's controlling then the business? You spoke there about the different companies. What company is the biggest in the world at the moment?
I think there are two main companies in the US. One is GOI and the other one is Digital Globe. I don't recall which one is the largest, but both of them have this very big advantage that they have very large long-term contract with the Department of Defense. In other words, they provide the Department of Defense, the US Department of Defense, with imagery which goes into the hundreds of millions of dollars per year. And in Europe, by comparison, we don't have such customer ready to commit to such large purchase.
What kind of growth will we see in this sector in the future if we look at the civilian side of things more specifically?
Well, I would say the civilian application will continue to grow, but that will be very much linked to the growing applications, such as the FarmStar application that we saw on the video clip. These are new applications which have potentially a large market, but they need to be fully qualified and accepted, of course, by the customer, by the market. So this is typically, a range of 5 to 10% per year. By comparison, the defense market is today much larger because basically all countries want to have access to imagery to look at their neighbors.
But do you foresee a situation where the civilian side outgrows the military side? How much more exploration is there to do?
Well, eventually, you may be right. Eventually, the civilian application may outgrow, but that is a long time from now. Right today, the military applications are by far the largest. But doesn't mean it's not commercial. I mean, you have countries, for example, some countries in Africa or Asia, they purchase high-resolution satellite imagery from the US companies or from the European companies for their defense needs. Okay, so talking about the defense application doesn't need, it's not commercial.
It seems as if the barriers to entry, they're quite low at this stage, with services such as Google Earth widely available, for instance. How easy is it to get hold of satellite imagery at this point?
You have to realize that Google Earth is a customer of imagery. Google Earth, they purchase imagery from all these operators, and all the images that you see on Google Earth are imagery that have been purchased. So Google Earth is not an operator by itself. Google Earth is facilitating access to data, and it had indeed had a big impact on making the public at large
aware of the possibilities.
Aware of the possibilities, of the fact that this imagery is in fact there and can be accessed easily. That was a big revolution, in fact.
All right, very interesting to talk to you, Gérard Brachet. Thanks very much indeed for coming into us here at France 24.
Thank you very much.
And with that, we're going to wrap up Beyond the Business this time around. Thanks for watching, and don't forget you can get more business news on our website, france24.com.